great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Mom in the young years. You heard me? So you look like you were a hot mom in your younger years. Alrighty, she says I'm on live. Very good evening to all of you. Welcome to our program once again. And my operator tricked me. She didn't tell me that we were on live. So you must have heard a little bit of something that you should not have heard, but that's okay. It wasn't bad. It was good. Anyhow, it's Thursday afternoon, evening, September 26th, 25th, 26th, 26th, believe it or not. September 26th, 2019 is already here, and it's going to be history. It's going to be done soon. And the year is really rushing to an end. So, all of you who made all your predictions about what you're going to do, that you didn't get started yet, you better get going, because before you know it, it's going to be Thanksgiving, US Thanksgiving, and then that here's going to be Diwali. After Diwali is over. I mean, Diwali is like Christmas around the corner, you know. So, all of you who didn't make your moves yet to achieve your objectives, including my operator, I'm sorry if the year is going to be done and you might not get started until the next year comes. But she looks really good. She's done everything she could, and she's on top of her game. You know, she doesn't need to lose a single pound more. She doesn't need to lose one more pound. Look, she's modeling in front of me. Anyhow, welcome to our program, and we're here to talk about things that affect people sometimes, and conditions that you may not be getting rid of and all that sort of thing. But I like to give credit where it belongs, right? You know, I always complain about the roads and how bad they are, you know, how disgusting it is to drive on. The Linden-Suzac Highway is still bad and disgusting to drive on. But the East Bank Road has gotten a lot better. You can actually pick the holes now. You know, before you couldn't pick nothing, you were driving into them all the time. But some work was done in some areas, in most areas, and it's much better. Still a few areas to be worked on. But compared to how it was before, it is about 80% better, which is good. The bad thing is, in my opinion, the speed limit going to the airport needs to be increased. You're going to like snail's pace on that road getting to the airport. I mean, it's an area where people live and so on, yes, but I think it should go to 80 just like everything else, and people just need to be careful. You know, 50 kilometers per hour going there is like a trap, a speed trap. Maybe that's what it is. But it's too slow. You know, you're not at the airport to go slow. You're going to the airport where it's like any other road, basically, you know. It should be increased. It was there before, and I don't know what made whoever brought it down bring it down. But it's disgusting to drive there going at 50 kilometers an hour. Like, you know, you're hoping that something happened to somebody there, you know. I hope that somebody's listening who's responsible for that and look at it. Do a little survey, and if you do a survey, you're going to find that most persons that are using that road don't go 50 kilometers. It's just too slow. It's like walking. You can actually ride a bike faster than that, you know, motorcycle, right? I got some complaints about an issue which was discussed on more than one occasion, many occasions. And this came up because I'm finding that persons are having excessive amount of cadmium in their bodies. Okay, we have mercury, lead, cadmium, right? Those are three of the big culprits that I see when we do the screenings. And then of course we have all the mycotoxin and elements that are coming from the pesticides and the herbicides and everything else that has been sprayed onto the plants. We see that all the time, all the mycotoxins and rubotoxins. We find it all the time. And it is creating havoc in people's bodies, and they don't know. You know, sometimes medicines are administered, and you're not getting the reaction as you should. And when you examine it, it's because the blood system is contaminated with chemicals and metals. Now, one of the factors that contribute to cadmium is, of course, barbecue, right? Barbecue involves an enormous amount of smoke before the flesh that you're eating can be palatable, you know, unless you're some animal. And the time it takes determines the amount of smoke that gets into the meat or flesh. So when you eat that flesh from the barbecue, you're actually consuming a lot of smoke. And that smoke becomes dangerous for your system, right? The other factor is the burning factor, where residents or persons are burning their garbage and it interferes with other persons in the neighborhood or in the area, right? This is a complaint I get a lot because persons don't smoke, they don't eat barbecue flesh, and then when we screen them, they have cadmium. And I ask them, where do you get all the smoke from in your lungs? Well, I don't know, doc, but my neighbor burns garbage every day or every 2 days or whenever. And we have to put up with the smoke that comes into our homes. You know, in some countries, many countries, you can't burn nothing without notifying the authorities, right? In Guyana, you can burn anytime, anywhere, and it doesn't matter. You know, if it's at the countryside where there are no residents and so, yes, or in the farmlands, yes, but when you have neighborhoods and people are residing next to you, and you're burning the trash, your waste matter is burnt, and then the fumes from the waste gets into the smoke and it travels into the air, and that gets into people's home, and they have to breathe that. You know, it's a selfish, or maybe a person who is unaware of the danger, who might be doing something like that, because they may not know what danger they're imposing on themselves and on others, right? So we need to do something about the people who are burning trash in their backyards or in the neighborhoods where the smoke can interfere with people, right? That's an EPA situation or maybe a health ministry situation, and it needs to be addressed because many persons are having allergic complaints and asthmatic complaints and bronchial problems, and it's from the smoke that you're burning in the backyard. So please desist. It's better you shred or you bury, you know, bury or dispose of by means of the garbage pickup services if they exist. That's another thing, you know, that's a sore point because many persons don't have a pickup service. There's no pickup service coming to pick up garbage from their homes. And they have no other recourse but to burn or bury. This is my water, okay? So I'm calling on you persons and on the authorities to do something about the trash. Do something about the burning. As much as you can, desist from burning. Because the smoke doesn't only get into the person's lungs, it gets into their homes and in their clothes and everything else, in their foods and everything else. Right? Another sore point that exists, and this one is really disgusting, is the persons who pollute the air with their lewd, vulgar noise. I wouldn't call it music. It's nothing but noise. And I had to make a call yesterday morning, I think, to someone in our neighborhood at 5:30 in the morning, blaring some vulgar, disgusting lyrics. You know, it was in the evening, I think, in the evening. Vulgar and disgusting. And then it was in the morning too. But you can hear the vulgarity in the language. It's like cuss words in there. I don't know how our broadcasting service or broadcasting bureaus allow that type of garbage to be peddled into our country. You know, if you want to curse, do it somewhere else. But don't put it in the air and affect the children and the persons who don't tolerate the nonsense. You do it in the minibuses and everybody sit there with their mouth shut. You know, you do it in the cars and everybody sit there with their mouth shut. Except for those who are brave enough to ask you to turn it down or turn it off. You know, because you're paying to go where you're going. You should be able to enjoy the ride getting there because you're paying for it. You know, but the noise that traverses the roadways. Kamraj Ramjatan, my friend, my brother, please have the authorities enforce the law. It's already there. Please get the folks to enforce the noise nuisance law. It's not music. Much of it is noise. And it's a nuisance because it's vulgar. And you women who sit there and listen to it without saying anything in those minibuses and taxis, you need to be trashed verbally because you're bringing yourself to nothing. You're allowing your gender to be slaughtered by ignorance. And you sit there and you take it. You know, I think a lot of what is happening to women are brought on by women. If you stand up and you put your feet down on certain things, a lot of things wouldn't happen. You know, when a man wants to lay around and gamble all day, and you are there working, and he comes home and he makes you have to prepare dinner for him, you know, unless he's retired and he's a pensioner and he's just having a little recreation, it's a different story. You know, then both of you hopefully are retired. You know, but when you have to go out there and you're working, slaving, and the man is out there gambling, you know, and he comes home and you come home and he makes you have to make dinner, you put him to his place nicely. You know, I am the provider. I'm the one that's out there working, bringing home the bacon. At least you can cook or learn to cook and prepare the food. So I can come home and have a meal since you've been home all day doing nothing. You know, I sent something to my operator. I don't know if she put it on there. I'd like to hear from her. This is about America's Got Talent. I recorded it and I think I sent it to her to put on my program because I wanted you persons who believe that you're handicapped, right? You believe because you have a deformity or you have a dysfunction that you can't perform, you can't do nothing. I wanted you to hear and to see what has happened to a young man, 22 years old, who was blind and autistic. I wanted you to see what he has done. I don't know if my operator got that, and if she can let me know and I'll play it. Beautiful. I mean, beautifully done. This young man. I'm hearing her talking to me, but I don't know. I don't know what she's saying, but I don't know if she got it. But it's amazing. It's really amazing. This young man just became a millionaire. And if you didn't watch it, she didn't get it. Okay, I'm really I really thought it came. It probably didn't reach. But I wanted you to see what what magnificence, how great this performance was by this young man who silenced the world basically with his ability. You know? No, she didn't get it. It didn't go. He silenced the world with his ability and put on a performance that brought tears to the eyes of many, millions probably. And he's blind and autistic, right? I'm going to get it and I'll have it here for my next program. I'll make sure it's here for my next program because it's really marvelous what he's done. It really is. You know? It doesn't mean that because you are unable to be totally functional that you're dysfunctional. It doesn't mean that you're dysfunctional because you're not totally functional. It doesn't mean that because you're blind that you can't do nothing else. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't mean that you're done. You know? It doesn't mean that because you have autism that you finished, that you can't grow up with, and become somebody. It doesn't mean that. You know? So I'm going to have that so you can see, and it probably bring tears to your eyes too when you see it, what this young, brilliant, autistic, blind young man did in the world, or did to the world. Right? Maybe she can pull it up. I don't know if she can pull it up for me. It's America's Got Talent, final 2019. Find it for me if you could find it, and I'd like them to see it today. America's Got Talent finals with Cody. Cody's final performance. I mean, it was amazing. Amazing stuff. And I want you to get it, to hear it. It blow your minds. Right? So we need to somehow realize that we all are here with talents and gifts, come into this world with that, born into the world with that. And we need to use it. We need to find it first and use it. Find it and use it, right? By the way, today's my son's birthday, you know, and I know he's not gonna hear us because he's probably thousands of miles away, and I don't know what part of the world he is at the moment. But today is Joel's birthday, and I if he's hearing me, happy birthday, Joel. If you could get this message somehow, you know, he's a kid that I was reflecting on him just yesterday, you know, as a little baby and coming up and growing up, and I remembered us having a little tug of war, me and him, because he wanted to have his way, and I didn't want him to go that way because I saw the danger, but he didn't see the danger, and we had a little tug of war like a father-son, you know, and I had to discipline him seriously for him to realize that he needs to listen, you know, because we never know what the turning point is. We never know what that situation prevents, that caused you to go another way, or what it brings, you know. So when people talk about not disciplining children and all this sort of thing, I say you're looking for what's coming to you, because the little discipline that you put before that child could bring him to a point where he realizes, or she realizes, that this is a reality and I need to think again. You know, today he's doing well, he's happy, He's not here. He's doing his thing, you know, and I want to wish him a happy birthday, and I hope that he continues to stay focused. Right? Pinktober month is coming, they say. Pinktober, right? Pink, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up in a few days. I want to say cancer awareness should be every day again. I'll start it right now. Cancer awareness should be every day. And we're finding more and more cancer in people all the time. You know, some persons are fortunate that it's you know, we're able to track it and catch it and stop it from causing them to become a victim. You know, we've done quite a bit of those, but we can't save everyone. Right? Up to today, we were able to say that there was a gentleman, not very young, who I wasn't sure what would happen to him. You know, but I can safely say today that he's out of danger, out of the cancer danger, and he needs to stay on the path, because cancer doesn't go away and stay away, and it can come back. Not because you had it and it's gone, it means that it can't come back, right? Cancer is very opportunistic, and if you do those things that can bring it back, trust me, it's coming back, right? Because sometimes it's not all gone, you know, it's just there, dormant, you know, because you've done the things that stopped it from overpowering you. But the cells are still there, you know, and they can be activated again. You know, so all of you who think when they say, oh, we got all of it, you know, you don't get all of it. No. You're dealing with one body, one blood system, and it's the same blood that traversed where it was in the first place, that's still traversing in your body after that's gone. Right? And the cells are there, so don't get carried away. Stay on cancer prevention process every single day. You want to stay on top of the game, because the moment you miss, you're gone. Okay, and someone said to me today, just this afternoon, the doc, you notice that more people are dying all the time faster? I said more people are leaving the country faster too. Because when you go to the airport, you're seeing the long lines. And half of them are not coming back. You know? So we keep losing people from migration, and we keep losing them from death. So soon enough, we may have to import people, because we're losing Guyanese all the time, through death, through migration. You know? So may the Lord help us. Continue to watch over us and help us. Now, many persons are ingesting monosodium glutamate, MSG, and don't even know that it's in the cube. When you tell people, when you ask the question, are you using any MSG or AGI? They say, no, doc, I don't cook with AGI, I only cook with cubes. Well, guess what? If you check it, it's in there. Monosodium glutamate is in there. It's in the cube. You know? So don't think that because it's not the powder itself that it's not in there. It's there. One moment, please. I'll do something very urgent. I have to send a message here. Let me see if it goes.
8 years, moving faster, getting better. The King Medespansi Adonis Foundation presents its 8th annual classic and the 3rd Junior Olympic Games and Road Race, Thursday 3rd to Sunday 6th October, Luziknan Sports Complex, East Coast, Demerara. The road race, as usual, will be contested on a route on the East Coast. Over $4 million in cash and prizes will be up for grabs on a program that caters for competitors from 3 years to masters, as well as teachers and governmental officials. Register online at meetregister.org, and for further information, contact Shaquille at 648-6762 or Lorianne at 668-9897. Yes, the King Medespansi Adonis program is back again to benefit local athletes. Thursday 3rd to Sunday 6th October, Lusignan Sports Complex, East Coast, Demerara. Run and win big.
All right, we back and we back live again. And you know, I want to comment on the athletic meet that's coming up there. I know for a fact that because I'm a former sports enthusiast, I know for a fact that sports can change the life of a person forever, positively. And I also know that sports can change what happens to a country in great ways, you know. I don't really think that we focus here enough on developing our talents when it comes to sports because, you know, and a good example is the bodybuilders, the weightlifters. When you look at what's happening with the weightlifting area, you know, the gold medals and the silver medals, people are going to come looking for strong men and women here soon, I know, because, you know, these guys and girls are really creating havoc, at least in the Caribbean, and they're making marks and laying their impressions in the minds of many around the world, you know. We can do it in football or soccer, we can do it in cricket, we can do it in athletics, we can do it in swimming, we can do it in I don't really think that the authorities who are responsible for developing sports are serious about developing sports. You know, you've got ExxonMobil who are doing things. They are doing things, little things, right, with their presence here. If ExxonMobil wants to really leave an imprint here in Guyana, they would develop racetracks and swimming pools and football fields and those kind of things, so that the Guyanese potential world-rated athletes can have the facilities to launch their purposes, because many of them are here to become sports personalities, but they never are able to prosecute it because, you know, they don't have the facilities and they don't have the persons motivated, they don't have the coaches, they don't have a lot of things. You know, they're going to say they ain't got the money either, right? But I know for a fact that sports can change your life, and it can change it positively forever, you know. So I want to congratulate the folks who have put on that meet. And then there's the Jeffers one, you know, and then and then my buddy is in charge of the athletics department here, Mr. Hudson, and I know he's doing a fantastic job there too. You know, so congratulations to all of you sportsmen and women out there. And for those of you who are really promoting sports, a lot of you are talking promotion, but you're not serious. For instance, the swim meet at Linden, for the schools. There's a pool that is there that is being used that is half the size of the pool that we have at the mall. And these children, if they're going to ever make timing, needs to be able to be trained in a facility that can give them the access to achieve their objectives. Instead, what they do, they put them at the pool where it's for recreation versus the one that is for competition. You know? So it tells me that these folks are not serious about developing the human resource in sports. They're not serious. They're playing games, right? So congratulations to those who are serious. And you know I can talk my mind. That's it. You don't like it, that's too bad. But we've got to be, if you're gonna attempt to develop the personalities who are destined to be sportsmen and women, then they need to be able to use the right facilities to achieve those objectives, right? All right, my operator has this song that I want you to hear, and I don't want you to cry, right? But this is Cody in his final at America's Got Talent that I enjoyed and the world enjoyed. So take a look.
Standing on the platform, watching you go. It's like no other pain that I've ever known. To love someone so much, to have no control. I said I wanna see the world, and you said let's go. I think I'm lost without you. I just feel cross without you. 'Cause I've been strong for so long, I never thought how much I needed you. I think I'm lost without you. Strangers rushing past, just trying to get home. This pain inside me, my world is crumbling, and I should never have let you go. I think I'm lost without you. I think I'm lost, lost, lost without you. Yeah. I think I'm lost without you. Standing on the platform, watching you go.
Cody Lee! Gabrielle!
I think Cody Lee be my golden buzzer. Cody has changed the world. He changes every room he enters. And when he said, I think I'd be lost without you, I think the whole world would be lost if we had not found Cody Lee. Thank you for blessing us all, Cody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Howie!
Two words come to mind. Heck yeah!
Thank you.
Heck yeah! I think season 14 is the season of Cody Lee, and if I had to predict, you're worth much more than $1 million, but I think you're gonna walk out of here with $1 million.
Thank you.
Julianne!
Cody Lee, when you get on that stage and you open your mouth and you sing Time Stops, and you impact us in a way that we get to share this moment collectively together forever, and you create that moment for us. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Simon!
One of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. I'm going to be really honest with you. Genuinely, Cody, your film and that song and that lyric and you, everything about it was, like I very first said about you, was like being in a movie. And look, I'm going to say this about you and everybody else. It's so easy to assume that, you know, it's a shoo-in. Everybody needs the vote. But after that, that was as good as I've ever heard. I'm going to be honest.
Thank you.
That was an amazing performance, and that was Cody Lee, and Cody is blind and autistic, but extremely talented, extremely talented. You know, it's amazing, and we got people here who are autistic and not blind. We've got people who are blind and not autistic. We've got people who are neither blind nor autistic, but are sitting on their butts doing nothing. Nothing. Just wasting their lives away. And there he is, blind and autistic. And today, he shook the world and has become, that's an icon. You know, we're never going to forget Cody Lee. At least I'm not going to forget him. Right? We have Cody Lees in Guyana, I know that. We have Cody Lees here in Georgetown. We have Cody Lees in Essequibo. We have them in Linden. We have them in Berbice. We have them in East Coast. We have Cody Lees all over, but they're just sitting, not discovering their talents. Let me tell you something, youths and folks. Instead of gambling, playing dominoes, playing cards, instead of sitting around doing nothing all day, drinking liquor, getting drunk and making noise, disturbing people, find why you're here. Find the reason why you are here and make your contribution. You never know. You may become an icon. I'm telling you. Right? Now, I learned something just now from my operator, Miss Adams. I didn't even know that. You know, Miss Adams in the 80s was Guyana's sprint champ. She was our gold medalist here. I didn't know that. I just learned that from her when we talked about the athletics and so. You know, she was I think it was a 1500 and 800, and she was the fastest. I'm looking at her and I'm saying this woman is in shape, you know, but I never knew that Miss Adams was She was National Sportswoman of the Year in 1988 and 1989. My operator, I wish she could come and stand in front of the camera. National Sportswoman of the Year, 1988 and 1989. Double gold medalist. Junior Carifta Games double gold medalist. When there was a record in the 1500, is it still stands?
In the 1500.
Still stands?
No.
It's been broken?
Just for that year, yes. It was broken.
Imagine that. Right?
I ranked number 1 in the 1500 in Guyana and 2nd in the 800.
Number 1 ranked 1500 in Guyana and number 2 in the 800. Wow, I didn't know that. Congratulations. Congratulations. Double gold medalist, my operator. You know? So listen, she can run. She can run. You ain't gotta tell me nothing more. She can run and she looks like an athlete. I wondered, and now I know. Anyhow, my friends, it's getting late, so we're gonna open the lines and take some calls and try to address your concerns and see how best we could entertain your comments, you know, so you can make your calls. I saw the phone ringing off the hook just now, but I didn't want to answer it because I didn't want to be interrupted. But I'm serious, you know, I'm very serious. Many of you are just waiting to die because you're not doing what you should be doing that keeps you going. You know? Many of you are getting in trouble because you haven't found your purpose. And if you didn't find your purpose here, then you're going to be wandering. Many of you are wondering because you haven't discovered why you're here. Why are you here on earth? I don't mean here in your house. Why are you here on earth? What is your purpose here on earth? Is it to be a thief? I don't think so. Is it to be a bandit? I don't think so. Is it to be a murderer? I don't see it. You know, you didn't come here to be that. You influenced whatever way you were influenced and became that. But that's not why you came. I wish you would take time out to discover why you're here. You know, look at Cody. I mean, that guy can't even see a thing. How in the world he knows to play those keys? How in the world, I mean, he can't even physically read with his eyes. He probably has to use the braille. They call it braille, I think, braille, right? But I believe that Cody was born with the talent, and it was discovered. That's what I believe. Like you are born with the talent, but you haven't discovered it. You know? I know I discovered mine. You can't tell me any different. I know I discovered mine. All right? You discover yours. Okay? Now, if you're sick, you got a problem, and you want to get some advice, and you want to make a call, you can call, and I will try to answer it. I'll try to give you advice, or I'll try to point you somewhere if it's possible. And I want to remind you again, those of you who were fooled by the cube, the Boolean cube, it's loaded with MSG. Okay? And MSG is not natural, it's chemical. Don't let nobody fool you. Monosodium glutamate is chemical. And chemicals are harmful to your body system. Don't allow anyone to fool you. You don't need it. And for those of you who are burning trash in the backyards, remember your neighbor. Okay? Your neighbor who cannot breathe properly when you put all that smoke into the air. Remember your neighbor who has asthma, or who has bronchitis or emphysema. Remember the neighbor with the child. When you burn, remember them. And out the fire, because you don't need to burn around your neighborhoods. Not in the open where it's affecting other people. You know? And my friend and brother Kamraj, please, I'm begging you, the vulgarity that's coming out of those systems and the radio, in the minibuses and cars, it's like garbage in the air. Garbage in the AIR and garbage in the EAR. Put the laws in place, enforce them. It's already there, enforce it. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Doc. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, you know. How are you doing?
I'm going okay.
Wonderful. Where are you calling from? What area?
I'm calling from Lemahaka.
Okay, all right. How can we help you?
Yes, I'm calling the connection high blood pressure
Uh-huh.
and what I can use to get it down to a normal level.
What is your blood pressure reading on a normal basis without medication?
Something 140
Over?
over 100 something.
That's high.
Yeah.
That's high. And what is your age?
But
What is your age?
I am 6 years old.
60. All right. The first thing you want to do, my friend, is to come off of the high sodiums and high fats. First thing, high sodium, high fat. All the cube and MSG and AG and all that stuff, come off of them.
Well, I don't use AG in my food. I don't use cubes in my food. And
You don't fry things either.
okay. Well, one times I might have a little, like a little fried fish, but not steady, because for the past week I've been using a lot of steamed fish, so I'm off of that.
All right. You wanna somehow get on a diet that excludes a lot of the fish and the meats or flesh,
Yeah.
you know, and the frying and come off of a lot of those things. And also try very hard to use more foods that are close to raw. Okay? And then what you want to do, you want to start using lemon and water.
Well, I just started doing some of that.
Start doing the lemon and water. Maybe in all of your water that you drink,
Yeah.
add some lemon juice, real lemon juice inside.
Okay.
And you take that, during the course of the day, you take that as your water.
Okay.
And keep monitoring the pressure,
Okay.
right? Because eventually you will start to take it down, and then you want to kind of, monitor where it is.
Okay.
Okay, then you want to exercise.
Okay.
right? You want to do some brisk walking, maybe just walk briskly. You don't have to go to the gym and you don't have to do all the fancy stuff, but just get to the point where you're gradually where your heart rate goes up, and you can perspire, and you could you could burn some unwanted matter out of your system,
Okay.
right? And then you want to do a little cleansing, remove the excess toxins in the body system
Okay.
that is causing you to have improper absorption,
Okay.
right? So those are a few things that you can start with,
Yeah.
and then hopefully as the pressure begins to go down, you can consult your physician and reduce the way you take your medication.
Okay.
All right?
Okay then.
Try that, okay?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anytime. Yeah, we have so many persons who are hypertensive and diabetic. And good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
Wonderful.
I'm from here after a long time. I've seen you. But Dr. A, I have a problem. My wife has a problem.
Your wife has a problem?
Yes. She having pain 24/7 around her hips.
Turn the volume of your television down for me, or walk away from it a little bit.
Sorry. Yeah,
She's having pain around her pelvic region or hip, you say?
our hip.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what is the cause of that because we went to doctors and there's nothing like it's a symptom or we call it arthritic something is called.
Arthritic. Well, if she's having, is that the only place where she has the pain?
Oh, this is she wants something.
L-
Yes,
Where else does she have the pain?
in our hips at the back
Uh-huh.
and our joints.
Or joints.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's either rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis, which means that there is some type of wearing and inflammatory state in those areas. Okay?
Good night, Dr. Hayes.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, tell me, sir, let me explain. I just have a pain in my lower back,
Uh-huh.
the left hip.
Okay.
Pain like, when my body relaxes in the night and I go to turn. This pain is really hurt,
Where else is the pain?
Where?
Where else? Where else do you have the pain?
Or sometimes it just be right wrong, my pelvis come right away wrong.
Well, he was right. He said the right thing. He didn't say anything much too wrong. But what is happening there is, like I was saying,
Yeah.
it's either it's an inflammatory state also. Plus, you may have some wearing of the bones because you're not getting enough minerals in your body system. All right. I always advise women over 40. It's getting even less years now in age, that once you get to 40, you always supplement with minerals. Always, men and women.
So you feel that it comes with age?
Not that it comes with age, it comes because we are not getting sufficient enough minerals in our bodies.
Okay.
Right? So we need to get the minerals in our system, supplemented because it's not in the foods that we're eating. And then we need to also work on our immune system because some of it is also linked to our immune system.
Oh.
Right? So you need to probably be consulted properly or screened properly to determine what really is happening. How bad is your osteoporosis and how bad is your inflammatory state? And what is the state of your immune system? It can be corrected. You don't have to be in pain because we do it for people all the time.
What are some of the minerals, the food that could give us minerals?
Well, the thing is, we're not getting the nutrients out of the foods that we're eating today. We're getting more chemicals than anything else.
Okay.
Right? The simplest form that I can suggest is almonds. Get some raw almonds and start with that.
Okay.
And then people have this belief that you have to have milk to get your minerals, but milk is one of the most contributory factors to arthritis. Dairy milk.
Okay.
right? So we don't need milk to give us minerals.
Oh.
We need minerals from food sources, right?
Okay.
So you can do that. You can check. It'll take too much time. You can Google it and check where do I get minerals from, what foods. It'll tell you everything.
Oh. And then,
Right.
One other thing, sometimes I get this, like, I get like a sudden dizziness, like if, like I want to get some blackout.
There could be a number of reasons. It could be a low blood count. It could be high blood pressure. It could be, high blood sugar, low blood sugar.
Okay.
It could be a number of things.
Okay.
So we need to do an analysis on you totally to see what is happening to you and why.
Okay.
Don't just take medication. Find out what is happening, why it's happening, and then you correct it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold 1 moment.
No, I gotta go now. That's enough. I gotta go. Get somebody else a chance, okay? Sorry with that.
Dr. Hill,
Yeah, we gotta go. Give somebody else a chance.
Mr. from Fifth Street, though.
I know. Many persons want us to come back, but we are in Kitty now, okay?
Okay.
All right, good then. Thanks. Bye bye. Good evening.
Hi, good night.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay.
Where are you calling from? What area?
Not okay.
Okay, right around the corner. How can we help?
I'm struggling in the lower back, especially early in the morning. Real severe pain.
Well, it could be your bed because it's happening when you get up, right?
Yeah, and like during the course of the day, this happened in about a year or so. I think in his brain sometimes I drink tea and then it will get to build something and eat, but it will coming back.
It's not wind. It's not wind. It's either, how do you sleep?
On my left side.
You sleep on your side.
Yeah.
Well, if you're sleeping on your side, then it is difficult for you to wake up without pains. You need to try sleeping on your back.
When I lie on my back, the pain is so much.
Then if the pain is in your back when you lay on your back, then it needs to be examined as to why you have the pain. Either you have problems with your disc or your vertebrae in your back. Either you have a pinched nerve. Either you have stones in your kidney or bladder or gallbladder. There's a reason for pain. Pain is just not normal. Pain is not something that you have to experience because it's normal. Pain is an indication that there's a problem. So unless you can find the problem, you will never solve the pain factor. Okay, if you've been trying, have you gone to get help over the years you've had the problem?
No.
You haven't. So how could you get help when you don't even know what is wrong? Find out what is wrong and then correct it. Okay? It could be that you have a malalignment of your vertebrae. It could be that the disc is not aligned properly. Even as I speak, maybe just about an hour ago, I had to help someone who was having pain just standing, and within minutes she was corrected because she had a malalignment of her vertebrae. All we did was adjusted her spine and she was fine.
That happens sometimes, like when I'm standing in the morning to prepare my cherry breakfast. It's like it's be so overbearing. I've got to sit down for a while and then.
Well, just take the number on the screen on top there, and you can call and get a time set, and we can examine your spine and see what is happening with it.
Okay.
All right? Don't just keep the pain. It doesn't belong there. Okay?
Okay. Good night.
All right. Good night. Good evening.
Yes, good night.
Good night to you.
My car is concerning my wife. She's suffering from this sciatica pain, sciatica nerve problem.
Hmm.
Are you dealing with it?
It's a pinched nerve.
Are you dealing with it?
We do it all the time.
Okay, well then I'll come next year.
All the time. Don't call the number, schedule the time, and then you come.
This same number here?
The number that you see on the screen on top, yes, the one on top.
Okay, I thought.
All right. When you have sciatica, it just cannot be, it's not something that you can just wish it away. You've got to look at it, examine it, maybe make some adjustments. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, quickly, how are you?
Okay.
How can we help you?
I'm having a problem because my big daughter, you know, her menstruation stopped coming about 5 months ago. And she didn't get it to see it since then. It can come in.
Well, she has obstruction, menstrual obstruction. How old is the person?
22.
22. She has menstrual obstruction, and it's probably because of an hormonal imbalance or a malfunction of a part of her reproductive organs.
Okay.
Right? So we need to screen, find out which one, if there is malfunctioning, and then correct it.
Okay. Could come in?
No, don't come in. You call, get a schedule, and then you come. Get a date, because you may come there and we're not there.
Okay. All right.
All right then, okay.
Okay.
Good then, bye. Those are all simple things that can be corrected. Those are not major issues. They're situations that just needs the right attention and the right application. You know, that's all it is. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, my brother. How you doing?
Fine. The other day, about like 3 or 4 months ago, I went and checked my prostate, and it was like 6 point something.
What's your age?
60.
Okay. Well, you're at the age where prostates are definitely part of the process, but it doesn't mean that it's normal. There is a reason why the prostate is enlarged, and we have to get to that reason. It's not. It's something that is expected or it is stated to have happened or happens to men over 40, 35, 40. You're at 60, so you know it's something that is part of what needs to be examined to see why. What caused it to go where it is, and you application and correct. It's not normal. It's stated to be a normal thing, a normal occurrence over a certain age, but not every man gets that problem. There is a reason for it. Okay? So we need to get you to be screened to see why. Why is it happening? And then you fix the why, and the numbers come down. Okay?
When I don't do that test, I went and do what you call it, but they say it wasn't the results showed that it wasn't cancerous.
Okay. Did a biopsy?
Huh?
Want a biopsy?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. That's even better.
No,
That's even better. So it can come down. It can be treated. We can find why it's enlarged and bring it down. You can, there are medicines to reduce the prostate.
No, because I got a very good friend that lives in South St. Kitts, and he said he had the experience and he was the man deal with it.
We deal with it for a lot of men.
Why
We have assisted a number of men with that problem. It's not very hard to fix. Once we find the cause, then you deal with that. All right? So you just call and schedule a time and come. We'll take care of it for you. We're happy to take care of it. Okay? Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening to you.
I got a problem, man. I notice every time, not every time, but enough time when I go for urine, I pass through some sediments, and it's very painful.
Are those sediments kind of hardish?
It's something like when you mix milk in water and you get a lump.
All right. It could be.
When I hold it with my hand, it's soft. And sometimes the urine come discolored, it come whitish.
Okay. It means that there is a problem in your urinary system. There is an infection of some sort, or there's some bacteria that needs to be looked at.
It's happening a very long time now.
And what have you done?
Well, I used last month. I went to the doctor about one thing, and they gave me some treatment, but the treatment not work. And I do ultrasound and everything.
Well, obviously, if it didn't work, they didn't find what is causing it to do what it's doing.
Yeah, and they said it's over the prostate swell too.
Okay. All right. So you have multiple problems.
Yeah, yeah.
It can be addressed. We don't have much time to deal with it, and you can't really deal with it on television or telephone. So
I know.
you call the number, schedule the time, we'll do an investigation and see all that is involved there. And there could be some information that's coming out there. Could be.
And one more thing, I got fatty liver. Can that be reversed?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
okay, okay.
You'll have to make some dietary changes, and then we have to have some application done.
Okay, okay, Doc. Okay, Doc. Where you live? Where your office be?
Just take the number and call it. 231 number.
Uh-huh.
You take it and you call, and they'll give you all the details. All right?
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Running out of time. I think I was given 5 minutes. That's nice. We got 5 more minutes, folks. 5 more, and then we're done for the day. You know, the more I listen to people. Good evening.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, nurse.
I'm calling concern. I have a pain in my knee. It is swollen a little. Does pain mean inflammation?
Almost all the time. When you
So
have
what
when you have
could
when you
be
have
done
pain,
about that?
when you have pain, it means that there is some type of inflammatory state that's there. Okay. Now, is it one knee or both?
One.
One knee. Then what you can do, you probably have some fluid in there that needs to come out, and if you can get a hold of a heating pad,
Yeah.
you can just put it around the knee and plug it in every night for about half an hour to 45 minutes
Before you go to bed.
before you go to bed.
Alright.
And then we
that
will-
will fix it?
That will correct a lot of it is corrected like that. And then we will need to know if there is a cartilage situation there or if there is an osteoporosis situation. But first, you want to move the fluids out.
Okay. So when I use the heating pad, the knee would go down?
It normally will.
Alright.
You try that, okay?
Alright, thank you.
Let me know. You're welcome. Normally, it corrects a lot of the swelling situations. If you apply some heat and you apply it evenly and as often as you need to, then most times, fluids are to be moved. It could be a lymphatic malfunction or a problem with the lymph system. It could be that there's some torn ligaments. It could be cartilage wearing. It could be a number of things, but normally when you apply the heating pad, it helps to resolve most swollen situations. All right? I was saying, we're finding that many persons are having conditions and either they think it's okay or they've gotten to the point where they're frustrated and fed up and decide that they're going to keep it, or they don't know that they can get rid of those problems. Listen, don't just have a situation and keep it, because you don't know. You don't know where it's going to take you. At least make an effort. Make an effort to get some advice from the right sources before you give up. Don't give up that easily. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Doc.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hello?
I'm hearing you.
Doc, I want to ask you something. What kind of water are you drinking here?
This is just a bottle that you're seeing that I put the
Is it
water.
the alkaline water or...
No, this is purified water from our water system at Linden.
Okay.
Why did you ask? Why did you ask?
I see people talking a lot about the alkaline water and they say that can heal your body and a lot of things, but I don't know, so I need to ask a lot.
Well, there's a lot being said about alkaline water, including the fact that I've heard and read comments where people say alkaline water is not good or not necessary. But if you want to get the water in its alkaline state, all you need to do is to get your purified water and put some lemon juice inside.
Okay.
and it will change, it'll convert it to an alkaline state.
Oh, okay. So like a gallon of water, like how many lemons? 3, 4?
About 4 lemons.